BBA MBA that IFMR is offering. Um, do you think you're okay with students leaving your program after 3 years?
We tell them please come back after 2 years and join the MBA itself, which the admission is open.
Okay.
Because then they get the advantage of
IFMR charges 5 lakh per year for its academic years, and then another 2.25 lakh for extra living expenses per year. What specific career outcome does IFMR's program lead to? The best suited students for this particular program after 12th. Sir, all IIMs offer 2-year program, and we often hear about very high packages at top MBA colleges. So what are your thoughts on that? Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's podcast, where we have someone with us who brings over 2 decades of rich industry experience across operations, process excellence, and supply chain management, and holds a PhD from IIM Bangalore, where he was awarded the Citibank Award for Excellence in Research. We are delighted to have with us Professor Suresh Venkatraman, Professor of Practice in Operations and Management and Chairperson of Integrated MBA at IFMR Graduate School of Business, Kriya University. Hi, sir. It's a pleasure to have you today in our very special podcast.
hello.
How are you, sir?
Fine, thank you.
Okay. So, sir, we all know that IFMR has started offering its integrated MBA program, and BBA MBA is a lot in boom today. So, on that note, my very first observation or question for that matter to you will be, we often hear about courses like, MA Economics, for which, there is a necessity of first acquiring a BA Economics. But for MBA, you don't require a BBA degree for that matter. So, what is the point of IPM?
Very good point. The MBA as a 2-year degree was born in the US, right?
Right,
And there it is never offered to freshers. It's only offered to people with work experience.
right,
So it's assumed that regardless of their undergraduate background, having worked for 3 to 5 years or even 8 years,
right.
they would have some exposure to industry and they will take it forward from there.
Okay.
But in India, it's a different thing, right? People are getting into MBA, mostly freshers, even in the IIMs. So essentially, we are taking people who have no relevant undergraduate experience, undergraduate knowledge, and into business.
Right,
It's not fair, because if you look at the professions against which we benchmark, whether we take law or medicine or engineering,
right.
we need 4 to 5 years to become subject matter expert.
Absolutely.
So that is a real challenge, which is why we believe there is a need for this kind of a bachelor's program to support the MBA.
Right, right, right. So, as you said, fields like engineering and medicine, they need many years to, for real expertise to get into that. So, do you think management education also needs that time, that kind of long-term depth?
Yes, it does. It requires depth, and there are two ways to acquire that depth. One is that to have a strong foundation in bachelor's in business itself.
Right,
That is one option, which is what we are offering through the IPM.
right,
The other option is if the person has sufficient amount of work ex, that they also then are able to grasp what is going on in the MBA classroom. Otherwise, in MBA we have courses like strategy, which
correct.
make no sense, to a person who doesn't have exposure to the world of business.
True, true. But sir, all IIMs offer 2-year program, and we often hear about very high packages at top MBA colleges. So, what are your thoughts on that?
Right, very valid point. I'm not sure whether I know the companies are recruiting because of what they are learning, or is it only because they are the brightest people in the country.
Right.
See, what happens is more than 2.5 lakh people write CAT exam. And
True.
if you look at the batch size of A, B, C, and L put together is less than 2,000. So we are saying less than 1% of the applicants are being taken into the program. So if you have a filter which is so good, then I think companies will take them as it is, regardless of what they have studied. To me, the proof is that in the IIMs, I've seen that in October itself they start selecting for summer internship. At that time,
Okay.
students have only finished one term, so they have hardly finished 17% of the MBA syllabus, and they're already being selected.
Right.
I mean, how can you select somebody on basis of 17%? You can't do that in any other course, neither in law, nor in engineering, nor in medicine. So, which means they're not testing them on the syllabus. They're just checking them, saying, "Oh, these are bright kids. Let me take them on board." Right?
Right. Right. Right.
Um,
Right.
so that's a different game altogether.
Right. So, let's go back to the thought of or the idea of management course requiring 4 to 5 years of in-depth understanding. So, on this note, we have seen we have seen and observed that a lot of students, let's say to be precise, 20% of students from IIM Indore and 40% of students from IIM Ranchi, they chose to opt for the exit option after pursuing BBA. So, and they instead go for the older IIMs like all the blackies for that matter. So, how does IFMR view this? And, is this program designed to support different paths?
True, true. So, as such, if you see, the law in India is that you cannot take a kid out of 12th standard and lock them for 5 years. It's not allowed. You have to give them an option,
Right,
right? So either you have to give them a bachelor option, exit, or whatever. And therefore, if there's a possibility that the student may leave in between, you need to pack all your valuable content into the bachelor program itself,
true,
so that whether they stay with us or whether they go out, either way, they should be superior to a person coming to the IIM from the outside.
right,
So even if you take IIM Indore itself, if you look at the top 50 graduation students at MBA stage, nearly 80% of them are from their own UG program.
right, right, right,
So, which means there is some plus benefit in that UG program, which makes them so good that they do very well in the PG, right?
right,
So if you look at that logic, the real strength of the if any IPM is how good is the bachelor's, not how good the master's is, because master's is already there, right?
right, right,
The other advantage of the IPM is that, okay, if I don't get something, if I don't get a higher institute from where I am, at least I'm assured of an MBA in my own college.
right.
So that this is the whole logic of why we have IPM in the first place.
Correct. So, sir, as per you, you are you saying that the strength of IPM program is that bachelor program in IPM makes students more suitable for MBA? And do you think this is the only reason to join IPM?
Yeah, the first and foremost reason is solid foundation in undergraduate program. The second advantage is that it's a safety feature, because if they don't get a better college, they can at least continue in the same place for MBA.
Right, right, right. Thank you for being so open, sir. And will you be frank about your IPM program, though the integrated MBA, BBA, MBA that IFMR is offering? Um, do you think you're okay with students leaving your program after 3 years?
Yeah, perfectly fine. If
Okay.
students do well in CAT and leave after 3 years, we give them the BBA and degree and pack them off. So that is one very clear option. The second option is there are children who want to go abroad, especially to North America. So they need 4 years of education in bachelor's.
Right.
So they tell us in the third year itself, we need to do the fourth year. So we tell
Okay.
them to work on the honors program. So they're with us for 4 years,
Right.
and they go. And then those who say yes, we want to do with you the full MBA, they can do 5 years.
Right.
And we have one more option, right? We actually encourage our students to take up employment after BBA, and
Okay.
we tell them, please come back after 2 years and join the MBA itself, which the admission is open. Uh,
Okay.
because then they get the advantage of our bachelor's, some solid work ex, which we do the placement, and then the master's.
Okay. 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 That's great. And that's something I think I also got to know right now, and all students must also be noting it down, you know, those all of those who are looking for IPM program. Okay, let's talk about the fee structure. In IIM Indore, the total fees is 5 lakhs for a year, for first 3 years. But IFMR charges 5 lakh per year for its academic years, and then another 2.25 lakh for, extra living expenses per year. How do you justify this higher fees than as we compare to IIM Indore?
True. So, you see, in education, the fees is actually kind of connected to what we call the outcomes of the program.
Right,
So if you see in India of late, you've got a lot of these IB programs, IB board programs,
right,
and they charge a very high fees, if you know, right? So compared to most places. Now, what is their justification? What they say is that we are charging high fees because we are preparing your child for a bachelor's abroad.
right,
And these children really have an advantage. When they apply abroad, they are kind of trained for that whole system.
right, right,
Uh, so even if in India, if you see, whatever fees we pay at IIT per year, right? The same fees we are paying in quota per year. So
Sir, but I'm so sorry, I'm interrupting you, but what specific career outcome does IFMR's program lead to?
so we can look at it from multiple ways. One is that if this look at our MBA program, which is our what we have been in the last 25 years, we've been doing the program.
Right.
The median salary is about 13 lakhs, right?
Okay.
But if you look at the top 50% of the batch, for them the median salary is about 15 lakhs. And
Okay.
we are very confident that if somebody comes to our MBA from our bachelors, they will
Right.
definitely be in the top 50%, which
Okay.
means that is one career outcome straight away for them, which means you're talking about a 15 lakh CTC when they come out at the end of 5 years,
Right.
right?
Right.
The second is if they do what is called a sabbatical option, they go work and come back. Then we believe those students can actually enter the top quartile of our MBA batch, which means they will enter the 17 lakh bracket straight
Right.
away. The third is that if they are looking at going abroad, right?
Right.
Our first batch people are all graduating BBA this year. So we have students who are joining Northwestern. They've already got admission in the US. In Spain, they got admission to IE Business School.
Oh,
In France, they've got admission to EDHEC. So
right.
these are the kind of possibilities. And finally, if you look at students writing CAT in our system, the students are getting 97, 98 percentile, 96 percentile, right?
Right.
So
Right. Right. Right.
it's
Right.
pretty high in terms of, I can't think of students just getting into any bachelor's program and getting that kind of percentile on CATs.
Correct. So, sir, are you talking about different career outcomes? How is that possible? Can you please throw light on some more light onto this?
Yeah, it's predominantly because of our curriculum that takes care of it. So we cover everything required for business and management, which includes law, right? For example, if you are talking about law in the first year, we talk about transaction laws like law of contracts and all that. Consumer Protection Act and all that. In second year, we teach law on how to set up a business. In third year, we talk about competition law and intellectual property law.
Right.
So any subject that we get in, our foundation is so strong.
Correct.
Right? Then we focus a lot on skills. So we have selling skills taught by people from industries. These are not academics. And the so-called end-term examination is not a written exam. It's an practical exam where somebody from industry comes and they have to literally sell to them, right? So then there's a negotiation skill course. Again, the whole class is taught by negotiation. So in every class, the students are negotiating against each other. And the end term examination goes on for about 2 days, and students again have to negotiate with an industry manager who's probably about
Okay.
40 plus years,
Right.
right? Imagine a kid who's 18, 19 negotiating with a 40-year-old person. It's not easy.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So we cover that. When we bring them up to date on tech, so we have Python programming, we have data science, we have artificial intelligence. In fact, in our AI course, it is so practical that every class is followed by some kind of a project works. They have to use that AI tool and demonstrate how they are using it, right?
Right.
So then we have Indian language, which is mandatory, and also one foreign language.
Hmm, hmm, hmm,
Um,
hmm.
we also teach them what are called domain courses. For example,
Okay.
it's possible to do international trade
Hmm.
with minimum investment. You have to invest less than 10 lakhs and you can do a turnover of more than 1 crore.
Right.
That is because the government of India has a lot of schemes in supporting exports, right?
Correct.
So, similarly, we have a domain course on green energy. That's again because the government of India has got excellent support for solar energy, windmill energy, etc. So we cover all this. So this, if the student wants to start doing business, they can start immediately after this program.
Okay.
And we also have a domain course on e-commerce and m-commerce because today that's the in thing, right?
Right.
Uh, and finally, we have internships. So we
Okay.
have 3 internships covering accounts, sales, and purchase spread across the 3 years. So totally, they are doing about 18 weeks of internship in this program.
That's amazing. Sir, I mean, I myself got fascinated hearing all these things, and it definitely sounds like a difficult program to me at least. So I really want to know, and I'm sure the students also wants to know that what category of students are eligible for this program, like the the best suited students for this particular program after 12th.
So we have actually students from science, from commerce, and from humanities. We are not restricting to anyone.
Okay,
We have students from all the boards, CBSE, ICSE, state boards, Cambridge, even IB students we have.
okay,
What we're looking for is basically 2 things. One is they must have a strong hunger to know, right? In Hindi, we use the word jigyasa,
Jigyasa,
right?
correct,
So they must have that, and they should be willing to work hard because our program is such that for every 1 hour of class, they have to put in 2 hours of effort outside the class.
correct,
It's not कि class में बैठ गए सब सीख गए. It's not that like that.
absolutely,
So
yeah,
there's a lot of work outside the classroom that makes it
correct.
quite difficult. So अगर कोई मतलब there are children who have this क्या बोलते हैं popular image. College is for enjoyment. So if they have that kind of an expectation, maybe our program is a wrong
Not
program for
meant
them.
for them.
Yes, it's our program is for people who have high amount of hunger and
Curiosity.
high and willingness to work hard.
Correct, correct, correct. Okay, so I think we got to know the eligibility criteria also, and that is the utmost hunger or jigyasa, as sir said, that you have to gain as much knowledge as possible. Sir, my final question for today to you will be, I'm sure students need your honest piece of advice to all the 10th, 11th, and 12th graders who wants to consider IFMR for their, for pursuing their management career.
So first and foremost is that let's see the way the program is taught is that we use a lot of real world examples.
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
All the faculty and all the courses constantly refer to saying, oh, this is happening, that is happening. We talk about Trump, tariff, everything, which means that students have to get to the habit of reading newspapers and seeing news podcasts regularly. So, because on one particular issue, different newspapers will give different perspectives, or even same goes for podcasts, they'll give very different perspectives,
Right,
and they need to be able to deal with that. They can't, it's very difficult to survive in our classroom if professor says something and the student says, Acha, such a student will be lost, right?
correct.
Because the professor will very casually make reference to multiple, what's happening in the media.
Hmm, hmm,
uh,
hmm.
Second is a lot of children lose out because of getting drained in social media. So we also believe a lot in networking. We tell students, please do network. So you will get notifications, use it to wish people congrats for getting a job, wish them anniversary, wish them birthday. But don't get into this trap of scrolling on social media because that can take 5 hours, 6 hours of your time and give you nothing in return.
Right.
That's a second advice. The third is writing skills. We find it a lot of people are finding it very difficult to write. So they speak very well, nicely, but when we say sit down and write, they're not able to
Facing
write.
problem. Okay.
Yeah, we're saying please take a paper and pen and choose any topic of your choice and write just 100 words every day without any reference. You can read before you can see, but you can't be
Hmm, hmm,
live
hmm.
copying. It has to be, it has to come from inside your head, right? Once you get into that way of doing, it has multiple effects. The biggest effect is this, right? When people go to gym and do all this dumbbell and all, whatever they lift, so it strengthens the muscle,
Correct.
right? So similarly, when we do writing, whatever comes from inside the brain to the hand, it strengthens the brain's ability to do those things,
Absolutely
which
correct.
is required in the job. So
Right.
in that sense, and one final thing we will say is that regardless of whether in school and in high school or in college, choose your friends very carefully. I mean, you can be nice to everybody, you can be friendly to everybody, fine, but choose your friends very carefully, because the right friends can help you go up, and the wrong friends will pull you down very fast. So we have
So
seen
true.
students, falling in the wrong company, and kind of doing very badly because of that.
Correct.
So that's about it.
I think that's wonderful wisdom that Sir shared today. Thank you so much, Sir, for breaking down everything so simply and honestly. And I'm sure our students must have learned a lot today and must have a lot of clarity after today's session. I thank you again.
Thank
And
you.
thank you. And I'm sure students must have also learned a lot today. And I'll see you, students, in such more podcast series. I'll see you the next time. Suresh sir, thanks again.
Thank you.